When you think of food items like apples, oranges, citrus, proteins such as chicken, beef, or fish, what are the words you use to describe what they taste like? Take an apple, for example. You might think of words like crisp, crunchy, juicy, citrusy, sweet, sometimes sour, or even refreshing. When you're describing menu items, you should always look at what the first things that come to mind when you're describing these food items in terms of what is the experience that your taste buds receive when you bite it. Often when describing wines, terms such as oaky finish, berries, a hint of citrus, those types of words are used to describe what the user is experiencing when they're drinking wine. They may also use words like tannin as an example. Think of food as the same way. What do you experience when you taste it? Those are words that you want to incorporate into your overall menu descriptions. Let's use this picture of a cheeseburger as an example. It's very easy to use words such as cheeseburger on a bun or cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato when describing a menu item. However, let's look at this more closely. Think of how much better it sounds when you write 100% choice cut ground beef, seasoned with a blend of fresh herbs, flame grilled, served on a fresh baked sesame seed bun with garden fresh lettuce and sun-kissed tomatoes. You can also add other words to help upselling your menu, such as pairing with an ice cold Pilsner or a nice tall cold Coca-Cola, and also hand-cut seasoned potato wedges or seasoned French fries, something regular than just the term French fry. When somebody reads this, it helps their taste buds imagine what they're going to experience, and they start to crave what they're reading. So think of this when you're writing your menu items. You also want to take into consideration textures when describing menu items, using words such as juicy, crunchy, soft, fresh baked, shredded, sliced, and diced. Imagine what the user or the customer is going to experience when tasting that item. Whatever that texture is should be part of your menu description. It's also important to use whatever cooking methods were involved. So use words such as grilled, braised, sautéed, roasted, broiled, or steamed. All of these words are important in helping consumers decide what it is that they want to eat. Oftentimes, people make decisions based on the cooking method to help with their health. So if something such as grilled or roasted might sound better than, say, the word fried. Let's use this plate as an example. You could always just say, it's salmon with vegetables and a starch. Or you can use words like salmon and lettuce. But how much better does it sound when you say herb-crusted salmon or herb-grilled salmon with roasted farro, fresh haricots verts, and carrot medallions, and microgreens? Much more appetizing to the consumer, and it helps them understand what it is that they're going to eat. Always consider having an appetizer or a starter section. This section should contain small bites or small plates, just something quick and simple to ignite diners' appetites. You also want to consider wait times for entrees, and so your appetizer should be something that the kitchen can prepare quickly as soon as the diner sits down. Have a salad or soup option, something that's lighter, especially if you have heavier protein items on your menu. The salad should be a good balance, helps people make better decisions in terms of how much food they're going to eat all at one sitting. Your entrees should be a good mix of both plant-based and also traditional proteins such as chicken, beef, and fish. When writing menus, you should also pair them well with a complementary starch or vegetable, or sometimes both. You want to pair food items easy to incorporate some of those into dishes as well, such as a risotto and shrimp dish, with maybe some vegetables where you don't have to worry about having pastas with fresh vegetables to give a crunchy and soft texture. Lastly, you should also have a sauce and a garnish that would help to go with the mix, complement that dish. Garnish, look at spicy and cool sensations such as an avocado ranch dressing, meaning that Parsley
Using
on a
salsa
plate as an ingredient,
or whole sprigs of rosemary
blackened
is
grouper
not
with
an
mango
effective
salsa
garnish.
is a
You
great
should have
example of
things that
something
go
you
well
can
with a
use
dish,
as well to
such
pair
as
something
fried
sweet and
onions
spicy together.
or
And
fried
also
herbs
things
that
such
would
as regional and ethnic
accentuate
cuisines are
and
great pairing
enhance the dish.
opportunities.
Garnishes should
There's a lot
always
of
be
fusion
edible
cuisine
and
out there
functional.
today that's very popular,
Lastly,
such as Asian
have some
American,
good
Tex-Mex.
options of dessert available. Things from indulgent
Use
items such
these
as cakes,
ethnic terms and
pastries,
regional
heavier
ingredients
items,
to combine
and have lighter
creative
options
and
such as
descriptive
fresh fruit
menus.
or sorbets.
Menus should be
Some
balanced with
trendy
plant
restaurants
protein
now even
options,
have a smoothie
vegetable
in the middle
options,
of a
and
meal
side
that helps
options.
complement
Consider
a dish
plant-based
instead
options
of
as well.
having it as a separate dessert
Pair
or
those
an
menu
appetizer.
items together well and use on-trend buzzwords such as organic, farm-raised, farm-to-table, gluten-free, free trade, and words such as oven-fresh or freshly baked.
Always consider having an appetizer or a starter section. This section should contain small bites or small plates, just something quick and simple to ignite diners' appetites. You also want to consider wait times for entrees, and so your appetizer should be something that the kitchen can prepare quickly as soon as the diner sits down. Have a salad or soup option, something that's lighter, especially if you have heavier protein items on your menu. The salad should be a good balance, helps people make better decisions in terms of how much food they're going to eat all at one sitting. Your entrees should be a good mix of both plant-based and also traditional proteins such as chicken, beef, and fish. You should also pair them well with a complementary starch or vegetable, or sometimes both. Easy to incorporate some of those into dishes as well, such as a risotto and shrimp dish, with maybe some vegetables where you don't have to worry about having separate items. Lastly, you should also have a sauce and a garnish that would help complement that dish. Garnishes should be effective, meaning that parsley on a plate or whole sprigs of rosemary is not an effective garnish. You should have things that go well with a dish, such as fried onions or fried herbs that would accentuate and enhance the dish. Garnishes should always be edible and functional. Lastly, have some good options of dessert available. Things from indulgent items such as cakes, pastries, heavier items, and have lighter options such as fresh fruit or sorbets. Some trendy restaurants now even have a smoothie in the middle of a meal that helps complement a dish instead of having it as a separate dessert or an appetizer. Keep in mind that people eat with their eyes, and if they can't see the food in front of them, descriptions are the next best option. So they're looking for menu items that they can envision in their heads. So take this dish, for example, that's on the slide. You could interpret it in many ways without actually knowing what it is. So it's your job to help explain what the individual ingredients are to make that dish attractive to the diner. Use key buzzwords such as farm to table or fresh roasted. Use feel-good menu descriptions as well, such as organic, to help people decide what it is that they would like to eat and get a mental description of what that food item is. Keep in mind, too, that when writing menu items, you want to keep it simple and to the point. If you have a theme, stick with the theme. For example, you don't go to Olive Garden and expect to eat a hamburger. On the contrary to that, you don't go to a Mexican restaurant and expect to find authentic Indian cuisine. So make sure that if you're sticking to an ethnicity or a trendy restaurant menu, stay with the current theme and keep it authentic. Keep your description simple and to the point. Let's write an effective menu description. Herb-crusted pork medallions served over wine-braised cabbage and apples, orange compote, cornbread fritters, and garnished with fried onions. How much better does that sound than pork with cabbage and cornbread? Write your menu descriptions to be effective, mouth-watering, describing taste and texture to the consumer, and helping them make a decision that will bring you profit.